I've been working the last few days on my the new idea with the tender trucks for all-wheel pickup, and I've got several tenders assembled with these. A couple of them are already out in the wild. Here's one that I just put together. It's for an Atlantic. I'm building for myself, so I mix the wheels. That's fine with me. But as you can see, we have all-wheel pickup, articulation, and they look pretty darn nice. And they'll feed track voltage in for rectifier and reverse and control as needed. Then I had this old, beat up, chipped, dirty, no good, broken 650, and I thought, you know, those lights are always flickering. I wonder, and by golly, these things just went right on. So these are all-wheel pickup trucks as well, and I'm going to be setting this up as part of one of my little demonstration vehicles. And as you know, though, some time ago we were working on a Alco Diesel smoke. I had pretty good progress with that, and this is one of the systems where the smoke looks like this, and it would puff out. So it's not at all like the American Flyer engine smoke, right? It's a whole different canister, so to speak. So then I started looking at my cabooses, and I realized that, you know, my trucks would fit on a caboose, wouldn't they? Now, why would you really want all-wheel pickup in a caboose unless you were going to smoke in it? I can shrink this a little shorter, but it will fit as is. There's the buck boost board to provide the proper voltage for the heater and the fan, and by golly, we could have smoking caboose. I suppose I could have if I had a dining car, I could have a smoker in there, but we know we can do it in the tender as well. And this is the diesel, Alco Diesel, so we know we can have smoke in the diesel. I'm like, holy cow, where does it stop? So I just thought I'd share that with you because it was so exciting. I had this idea for this tender, and I was going to send it to Andy in South America, but by the time South Africa, but by the time I got his engines bubble wrapped, there was no room for this. So I took it out to make room for the packing, so nothing got broken. And then I thought, gee, look at this. I was going to let him do this because he has the same. We're sharing information. And I thought, you know, I'm just going to fit this up and see what happens. And by golly, look at that. Oh, my goodness. That is so remarkable. Now, there's a little bit of a, as you might see, these trucks are bigger, and they do stick forward, and they do hit the step. So I'm either going to have to notch the plastic step or on the frame. I think I can do it on the frame easy enough. Just notch it. As long as the wheel's clear, once that's done, then we're okay. It looks like they will. It's just that corner right there. That corner right there that hits. So I think if I just do a little 45 there, I can get the clearance I need, and that would just be for the tenders. Everything else seems to clear just fine. Because they're longer, caboose is actually a shorter chassis with the wheels and everything. So, okay, well, that's kind of what I was up to. Did a little printing, did a little wheel assembly, axle cutting, wheel fitting, and there we are. Oh, and these have the couplers. The couplers on both ends, whereas the tender would have the drawbar connector at one end and then a coupler at the other end. So it's really, and these couplers are repro. I don't know how much they are, $250 or something like that. They don't have the cut in to fit onto the knuckle. And I've tried to cut one, and I just about melted the damn thing. It's not that easy to do. You got to do it with a lot of cooling, a lot of slow speed. Otherwise, you're oversized or you melt and it deforms. It's just a mess. Oh yeah, here's the smoke. See the difference in the design. This is the smoke for a steam engine. And there's an adapter for it. Here's an adapter. So this goes to the front. This goes here. And then this fits exactly into our standard chassis that have smoke. Some chassis don't have smoke, like the ones with the reverse in the boiler. They don't have anything for smoke. But I also have an adapter for that. Fits across there, and guess what? He bolts onto that. So I can put my smoke in any engine, any Flyer engine, no problem. I can handle it, whether they have that gear here or not. If they don't have that gear here, I have a PC board that I can put in, and it sends up pulse to the motor to give the puff, puff, puff in sync with the wheel. Yeah, I've done it. So we're making good progress. We're doing a lot of stuff. Oh, I didn't even think to show you this. Oh, no, I'm not going to turn it on. Can I? I unplugged it. Remote sounds. Here's the remote. There's the remote. This thing is on. Show me. Okay, there's the remote. This is the receiver. I have 5 volts just coming in because it's easier for me on the bench. I got a big ass relay from my train, not for this. Smaller relays on the way. A little battery for energizing a light, so I can turn that light off and on right here. Off and on light. I have an old soundboard with Tim Coe talking about we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. He is such a character. But if I hit A, or it was A or D, but one of the others, then the sound plays. Now that board right is huge. It's got a battery, it's got these relays, what the heck? Don't worry about it. We're getting parts coming to shrink them down and fit them into, I hope we can fit them into a tender. That's my objective. So small that you would have remote sound in the tender. Oh, and there's more. Well, okay. These were a set of magnets that I built for an Alco Diesel to replace the electric coils. I just put these magnets right near the armature, energize the armature, and it spins. Okay, they worked, but they were a little big, a little clunky, and I was a little nervous about it. But I have somewhere, not handy, but they're here, curved magnets that are made to fit next to an armature. Now I got to build the bracket for them and fit them in, and then we'll be able to test a DC Alco conversion. A DC Alco conversion, and the DC smoke, Alco smoke, I mean. Okay. Now, well, I'm really going right down the line here, aren't I? These are some boards that I just had made. My buddy Andy in South Africa, I just sent him a box of trains, has been helping me on my 3D printer, but he's also a double E, and he designed these boards for me, and he told me what parts to get, and I have all the parts, and we're going to be building these over the weekend. This board is for chuff sounds. So a screw fell on the floor. So when we're running, and we'd put this on, it has no sound, it just smokes, right? So I want to have a chuff sound. Well, this will be the chuff sound through a speaker that will work with the smoke, and it'll be synchronized. So when the smoke comes out, you hear a chuff sound. Chuff, 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 smoke, 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 boom. Okay? So that's one PC board. we're building. The other one, that was the same board, different board. Here we go. It has a 555 on it. We have Carl Tuveson's design. He's published it, and it's okay. And we're building puff boards so that these two boards will receive a trigger signal, and when it gets the trigger, it'll say make smoke and make the chuff sound. They'll be synchronized. So with these two boards and a power supply, something like this, in the tender, we're going to have one anyway for smoke, right? We could just tap off of it. These take 9 volts, 5 volts, something like that. We'll have puff and chuff with digital smoke in any flyer, whether it had it ever or not. I have made that adapter already. I have several of them out here. This was for the Royal Blue, but this is the same chassis for other engines, similar, I'll put it that way, similar, that also had trouble fitting smoke, but I have an adapter that aligns this perfectly with the body of choice, whether it's a streamline or a steam engine. Oh my God, the CFO caught me working late. I don't get overtime, so she really gets upset when I work late. All right, so I'm gonna turn off my calipers. I'm gonna call it a night. So, wow, you guys really got a show here. We got puff and chuff boards, whistle, bell, station announcement, and maybe some theme music or a couple. We could do 4 things. So you could do a couple station announcements with or whatever, okay? And then steam reverse and boiler smoke adapter, diesel, Alco Diesel smoke adapter, adapted Alco Diesel for a caboose with all-wheel pickup for passenger cars, and all-wheel pickup for tenders, which we've been working on that for some time now. Well, no wonder I'm tired. You guys are making me crazy here with all this stuff. Okay, and I have 2 engines. I'm going to post them. I have a K5 for sale that I just completed going through, and I have a 287 plastic Pacific that I installed smoke and a firebox, and it's also for sale. So check those out. Look on my YouTube channel and sign up, subscribe, and look for videos, because we're cranking. All right, folks, gotta go. Bye.